See what kind of damage we can do today. Oh, let's look up there first. Look how nice that yellow is. So creamy. I sometimes don't like stopping here because there's a bit of a lack in that motif. What to actually do with it. Seems a little minimal. Oh wow, run out of room early. I'll let this one go a little wild. They don't all have to turn out. Or actually they'll turn out, but they can turn out in strange ways. It's just perfectly okay to do that. Now to abstract this, because I don't really want to represent this. I want to somehow compose the area without describing all that. It'll be interesting to see what I do with that. Okay. What do I do there? Okay. Okay, I think I'll stop the drawing there, close to it. See if I can mix up that nice yellow. Okay, stop the drawing and set the paints up. I've put on a wash and I've given it a few moments to dry. So now I'm going to start in on the painting. I mixed up a yellow here. And I don't like how that's covering. Necessarily. But let's put some on and see what it does. Mixing with China white into some of the pigment. So that's why you get that kind of coverage. The China white makes it opaque. Just going to keep overlaying it a bit at this moment. Just going over and over and over. Let some of the pigment seep in, even though the water is kind of puddling. It's really hot outside, so it'll dry fast. It's probably enough, but I'll take my time here at this stage. Oh, Jesus, I covered that whole thing up. Oh, that's okay. Okay. So I'm mixing. Often when I do this, when I leave a color, I'll put some water on my brush like that and just save whatever pigment's in the paint. You end up depleting your sets pretty quickly if you end up wasting half your color. But as I said before, this set has been going on for a long time, since the 1980s, and it's not anywhere near half done. But I don't use it that much, really. I just use it for these small things in the car. Okay, next step. First thing I do sometimes is I just sort of scope out my existing colors and see what I can use there. And there's a blue there that I might want to use for the sky. If I have enough of it, which that looks like I don't. Nevertheless, mix it up and see what I have there. Where's my other set? Problem when you have... Okay. There's my bright blue there. Just a little bit of bright blue. Don't want much. I don't want much. It's probably enough. Yeah. I got a lot of water on my brush. Probably because I don't really have a lot of pigment on my brush, so I'm trying to compensate by putting more water, thereby having more pigment. Guess I could do the same thing I did here, as in the other section, is repeat applications of it. Okay, it's subtle, but I think I'll leave that for now. Maybe change it later, maybe not, you never know. Next will be, I'm going to put in that color that is in the... Oh, I got a little bit too much water on my brush. Looking for a dull blue-gray for this area here. Ooh, that may be a little dark for that. It is, but no worries. So now I'm going to go to hopefully a lighter blue for this area. Yes. It's nice to be really gentle with these. Now, that yellow is dried, so I can probably work on it pretty soon. It's not quite dry yet. I'll work on the foreground a bit. On this foreground I have, well, let's see, maybe I'll put the gray in first. I have some gray in the foreground. I'll use this, which I have already, all over the place. Ooh, but it is a warm gray, so I'll go there. Okay, like how that's turning out. And next I'm going to go to, I want a kind of green that's cool, a little bit of an emerald-like color to it. So let's see what I have here. That's not quite it. What was I mixing there? Okay, there. Again, I want some opacity to it. It should have a little bit of blue in it. So there. That's why I'm doing that. I probably have enough color there to mix. Now, okay, that's good. I want to do something. Ooh. With this area, you know what? I should have put something down there first, though. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to a lighter green that will operate as a background color first to that. And will also work for some of those middle area greens before I add the darker greens in. So right now I'm trying to work some opacity into this color. I don't need a whole lot of pigment here. Damn, there's not a lot of water in that. I'm using a smaller brush. Okay, there, put a little more water in. Okay, so I'm just going to now do this. So I've got a brighter green, which I'm going to kind of base these colors off of, even though I'm going to go over them with dark. later on. I also want to use this here. Let's see. Well, maybe I don't. I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah. It's an interesting stage in the painting where you don't know what the hell you're doing. That's always the best stage. You don't know what the hell you're going to get ever. That's why you come back to it. So you come back to it over and 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 over. That's why I'm an old man painting still. You know what's interesting, thinking back when I was trying to paint when I was 16 years old. I paint a landscape and you wonder, why the hell does it look so crappy? You know, I haven't come that far from then, you know. Just a couple of things. It makes you think, why couldn't I learn then what I know now? I think we're really stupid. It takes people so long to learn stuff. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to put that. Should I put that in there? Okay, I'll do it. I never take too long thinking because you can end up overthinking. So just, you know, if you need to think and rethink, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Okay, do that for a while and then make up your mind and just go. You don't like it, change it later. Oops. Like, don't spend forever thinking. It interferes. Doesn't mean you don't think. Just don't spend forever. Okay, so got sort of a base coat set up there. And really, it's more than half the painting done there. Now I'm going to go to darks. Like looking at some of these light things in the foreground blowing around. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of things here that are, oh shit, look at that, that's stuck to it. I'm looking for a little bit of light. So I'm going to put a little bit of water in this China white here. With a very small brush, I'm massaging it into the paint, which is dried as hard as a brick from the last session. Opens up relatively quickly, but you still have to kind of work it a bit. And I just want to, before I go too far, I want to touch that. There in the distance to show. I always love that. There's little things hiding there way far in the distance. This idea of scale is so important. We love it when we're looking far in the distance. I love it. From Saskatchewan. Everything was far in the distance. Okay, I just did that briefly so I don't forget it later. Now, see, look, I go into those slop colors there. this crap left over from centuries ago. I'm looking for, right now, a kind of dark, not too dark. I want to do these lines here. Ooh. Dragging the brush. Uh-oh. A little too heavy-handed there. Too heavy-handed there. More water. Brush is loaded. Tip of the brush is loaded with water. Now I'm just piddling around with the brush, which is kind of fun. But all that's pretty important. Okay, that's enough of that. That's subtle enough. I think I'll do that too. I'm looking for a light color, very light color, which I probably don't have here. Yeah, I don't have it, but anyways, I'll try to mix it before I forget. I want to put something in, and it'll probably get covered up later, just accidentally through the overpainting. I want something yellowy, but very light. To put in a few of these little arabesques that I see. As I say, they're probably going to get covered up a bit because I got to put more over top of that. Maybe I'll put one of there, because those are really. And I love doing this fine stuff because it mixes with big stuff so nicely, and it just turns it sometimes into a little bit of a little magical area. Okay, so I'm missing the darks completely, so now I'm going to switch brushes. I'm going to leave this brush in there, although it's not a good idea to leave these brushes in water for too long because you can end up screwing around with that tip a little too much and mismanaging the tip. So I'm not really. Okay, there's a small brush, but not too small. I'm going to go to my darks. I'm going to just take that whole set, put it on my lap. Add water. Go into this dark blue. I'm going to add a little raw umber to it to kill the color, because I just want sort of a dark. Ooh. I wanted a dark there. Oh shit! Now I want to be purposely kind of haphazard. In a way, I need to shut up here too because I can't actually. Yeah. Oh Jesus. Yeah, that needs to be a. This is probably too much lacking in chroma here. Yeah. Okay. It's another case of that spastic motion, which I do try to use a spastic motion to counterbalance the idea that everything is controlled. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to go to a kind of darker mucky brown here. I'm going to add a little bit of red to that just to clean it up a bit. Oops, don't go there, don't go in the green. Let's see. Just trying to create a movement like that there rather than everything going this way. This part still needs a little bit more darkness, so I'm going to work that again. It's dry enough to work again. This works well, having the camera facing straight down. Surprisingly well. And this is where you're in danger of over controlling again, but also killing the color. It must be really yeah, it's tricky. You can kill color very easily, and sometimes when you kill it, you can't get it back. Well, you can get it back, but not so easily. And now I'm going to use, if I can find where I left it, where did I leave it? I'm going to go back to my pencils. Establish some of those lines. Can establish some darks this way too. Can put a little bit of mark making in. Oh, I should have put a little bit of lighter green in there. I don't think I will at this point though. I was going to make that darker, but now I wonder if I... this passage here I was going to make darker, which it is darker up there. Like that. I'm wondering now if I should do that. Okay, I will do it. There's my point again. Don't think too long. I want to go to a green that is dark, but not as dark as the rest of the green that I was using. Okay. Put a little bit of blue in there. Something to undull it. Oh, that was a mistake. You know, shit, probably poisoned myself there. Just trying to take that off the yellow. Okay, I'll go in with that color I had a lot of, so I know it's still around here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Clean my brush again, make sure there's no pigment in my color, because I'm going to the bright yellow again, which is, you got to be careful with warm, light colors. They take no contamination whatsoever. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. And look at that lake down there. Look at the corn growing up nicely. Still use a lot of rain, but still looks healthy enough. It's almost the corn season. It's almost time to get corn to eat. That'll taste good. Okay. Take a little tour around at all the stuff. There's my iced tea with nice ice cubes in it. There's what it all looks like. If I have other sets too, which have a use, but if I put them out here, it becomes almost too much. I mean, this is enough to manage, and this is actually too much to manage with one hand holding the phone. It's pretty manageable with two hands. With one hand holding the phone, not so much. Could probably put more dark in here, but I don't think I want to. Feels like today feels. So I'm going to call that done. I'll see you next time.